All right, this is Indie Creator Exchange number 48 with Brett Cantrell. Brett, how are you doing this fine Sunday morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me,
Good.
guys.
Welcome
Finally,
everybody.
finally get to
Oh, it's
Yeah,
going to be
hello
great.
do the
everybody.
show.
This
Welcome.
we're going to talk to yet another indie creator, and we received some packages here of his output of some of his products, and we're going to have a nice discussion about how Brett got into the biz, how he got into the hobby. So why don't you? We start this all always out the same way. Why don't you take us back to the beginning and explain to us when you were just a little kid, what were the influences that really got you first interested in comics?
Well, I first started reading the newspaper comic strips, the black and white strips you get daily in the newspaper, like Little Abner by Al Cap, Steve Canyon, Morton Caniff, Steve Roper and Mike Nomad by Saunders and Overgard, um, Andy Cap was a good one, good influence. Just all these plethora of comic strips on the paper, and you get them every day. So I started doing my own little comic strips. Sometimes I copy other strips, like Andy Cap, for instance, uh, and then I think a few years I was about six. I got started drawing around 5 years old. My dad was an architect, so I would gather some of his pens and start doodling on some paper, and I just basically self-taught, but I took some art courses throughout the years during college and stuff in high school.
Okay.
And so I was mainly just self-taught, watching what I draw and the comics. I remember the first comics that I've received when I was a kid. Conan #6, Barry Windsor Smith, and
Whoa, yeah.
Swamp Thing #5 by Bernie Wrightson. I mean,
Yeah.
that was there was like 20 cents on the comic rack way back when. I grew up just reading those spinner rack comics like a lot of kids. I was fortunate to be that age at that time. And what great influences, too.
Where
And
Those are
Spider Man,
heavy hitters.
yeah, heavy hitters, big time. That's a good art lesson just watching, I mean, just reading these pages and just absorbing what you see on the paper, and I
Yeah.
try to get good at it throughout the years, and I'm still learning. I'm not the I'm not the best artist, but yet I love to do what I do when I can. You know,
where were you growing up at?
I grew up in I was born and raised in Lubbock, Texas,
Okay.
and I had two older brothers, mom and dad. My was a school teacher. My father was an architect and a pilot. They're both pilots.
Yeah.
They flew
Flying around and
Oh,
shit.
their own airplanes, so it was, yeah, flying around, different states and stuff. I I was fortunate enough to navigate on these different trips that we had. It was a great experience. It was fun,
Were you
and
did you have a nearby comic store when you were growing up?
I thought that comics were in Coleman, Texas, where my grandfather and his second wife were living in. My step grandmother had a store named called Ratchins. It was a convenience store. It sold candy, gum, comic books, milk. It's just your wholesale items in a store, and
General.
that's my first exposure to comic books. Just a convenience store, a spinner rack.
Right.
That was a beautiful heaven to experience. The spinner rack full of comics, DC and Marvel mainly,
And
and
Conan #6 came to
wow,
you on that spinner rack.
yeah, on that very spinner rack, along with
oh,
Swamp Thing number
damn, that's
five.
awesome.
Isn't it great?
You didn't.
Woo!
If you
Oh,
would have known, you would have bought them
oh,
all. They were like 12 cents, right?
I
Or
know.
15 cents.
Yeah, well, I only had so much money when I was a kid. My mom, gave me so much money to get for candy and comics. So for 20 cents, you could buy a lot of
I
comics. So
think.
I did.
Yeah, I think.
I got like at least 10 or 12 comics.
Yeah, I think that the first Barry Windsor Smith Conans were only 15 cents. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's 15 cents.
amazing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So you said you had some training in school. What grades was that?
Well, in high school is around sophomore to junior. Uh, an art teacher there, um, I forget, Mrs. Coach, I believe her name was, and it's just your basic art class, crafts and drawing and things like that. But
Yeah.
I was mainly self-taught.
Well, they give you,
I
yeah,
just
they give you the time for it. It's not like your
yeah,
typical art high school class is going to give you the
yeah,
fundamentals like Will Eisner, but just to
exactly,
give you the
yeah.
time and just to encourage the creative output of kids. I mean, I'm a middle school art teacher for a long time, and
Oh,
I
great,
can tell you that the education system is doesn't really nurture artistic talent the way we could. So most of the time you're just
it's true.
doodling on your own in some other class, right?
Right, right, yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed a little bit of that. I thought some of the crafts were kind of dinky and whatever, but it was a good time just to draw a little bit.
Right.
And I got further training through Texas Tech life drawing classes where the models were actually nude. I don't know if they still have that anymore.
Yeah,
What
they
the
Oh
do.
yeah,
college? Do they?
oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
this way they
that's
make
kind
sure
of
that your blood
different.
is flowing well, and you make sure that your blood is pumping so
Exactly. Yeah.
nobody passes.
We we're both male and female models,
Right.
to draw from.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's not.
and we have male and female classmates.
Right. It's time to stop giggling and grow up, and start drawing what you
Yeah,
see.
that's right.
Yeah, because I went to
Exactly.
when we had a nude model, or they called it undraped, in
Right. I'm draped. There you go.
and I
Yeah.
think I was in 10th grade, and they brought it in, and there was just some young men there that just like couldn't contain themselves, and what they ended up drawing, like when when you walk around, you see everybody's different like version. I walked around.
Right. Yeah.
He was drawing this guy. He was drawing like what looked like the graffiti on inside a bathroom stall, and I was like, "Is that what you see, dude?"
Wow.
So like, what the heck? Um, so
That's
let's move on.
yeah.
Let's move on. So, what was the very first thing that you put out, or that you would consider your first, like self-published or amateur publication?
Well, I put out this book here as a flip book. It's the Executor Femme Fatale, issue number one,
Okay,
back in 1996. So around May of, I believe. Let me go look at the dates here. That was 19. Oh, copyright 1995. Oh, yeah, May 1996 release. I did the work around 1995, a year before. I I didn't really have a complete story to draw
right,
from. I did like little spurts, like 16 pages of Executor and about 14 pages of Femme Fatale. The Executor, he was a vigilante against the mob
right,
in the Northeast, and the Femme Fatale were like three super women. You got Caracal, which is the cat lady right here.
right,
Mongoose, who has super speed martial artist, and Angel Fire, the spiritual um,
right.
character of the group, like represents the three aspects of women. You get the savage side, you get the modern, fast-paced uh, woman here, and you have the angelic, spiritual woman right there.
And were you
So
so this that comes out, this Femme Fatale comes out in 95, you said?
around 96, the same time as this, since it's a flip book, they're both published in one book,
Oh, okay,
one flip
gotcha.
book.
It's a gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha. Um,
yeah, it's a flip book.
and
Yeah.
were you being inspired by like I know AC Comics was out then doing like the Femme Force and stuff like that.
AC,
Yeah,
AC, yeah, AC was good. Billy Tucci was a big influence. He had She back in around
Right.
'94. I'm thinking, well, if he could do bad girl comics and have female comics, I'm saying, oh, I'm going to have three chicks in my
Right.
book. That's the femme fatale right
And
here.
then you got the executor on the
You know,
other
like
side.
even better.
Right.
Yeah, Executor right here. Yeah, I enjoyed doing these. I had the first page, of course, introduces Seattle right here on the monorail, invaded by three um, robots or servo bots, I think, or technobots is what they're called, and invading the train, ready to pick up this one teenager named Oliver Dodd, who is the future ruler of America, like 50 years later.
Right.
And got to get the inside here, and you're interrupted by these three gals on a nice splash page. It'd been great if it were in color, but this is the splash page right
Black and
here.
white indies. Um,
Black and white indies, man. Get all kinds of action.
and so you went to a printer and you got how many copies of that?
Actually, yeah, a friend of mine was a printer. He had a printer in the basement of his house.
Oh wow!
He did a lot of,
Wow, that's so cool.
yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. He did a lot of business cards was his main focus. People were wanting business cards. He made money doing that. Stationery. He never printed comics before, so I did collate some pages, and tell what they were, and he did a great job. I only had like less than 50 copies of this made
Really?
of this book right
Whoa.
here.
So
I sold a few,
Whoa.
gave some of my family for like gifts and stuff like that.
wow! And
This is the only
How
original
many do you have left?
one. Only one copy.
Whoa!
so
Wow!
One copy. I got some of my
Wow!
friends may have it. I don't know. I don't know what the value is, but hey, it may be a lot of money. Who knows?
so to me, this
But
looks exactly like the kind of comics that Power Comics spotlights. It was made in the '80s. It was all self published.
yes, Power. I love Power.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with all five of those issues, man. Power Comics in Michigan. These guys were in Michigan in that 1977. Uh, I'm on a show called Rex Hex and Apex, and we had Mike Gustovich. You've heard of him, right?
Uh huh. Sounds familiar.
He did Justice Machine. You heard Justice
Yeah.
Machine?
That was
Oh
a
yeah,
comic
yeah,
book,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Cobalt Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cobalt Blue came out in
Yes,
issue number
yes.
2 of Power Comics. Beautiful artwork by Mike Gustovich. We had him on. He was a great. He was such a gentleman. And man, he's a that Power Comics number 1 is a big influence for uh, the Fembat wraparound cover. If I don't know if you guys could share screen. Can you do that or no?
Oh, I will. I will.
Oh,
You just
okay.
just hold up. Just hold up what you have because this is all recorded, so
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So yeah,
it'll be edited.
yeah, Femme Fatale. I'm sorry. What Fembat is my latest comic from FundMyComic.com. So if you go there and look under Fembat Volume 1, and that's the one that's the most recent work that I have. It's 56 pulse pounding black and white pages. Get a lot of horror action, some comedy, some intrigue, and some suspense. It took me about 3 years to do. I wrote it, penciled it, inked it, lettered it by hand, and colored the covers. A lot of people wanted it black and white because I showed more detail in my black and white art in the book, and so I decided to leave it black and white because horror is more impactful black and white, in my opinion.
So you,
Oh, I
so you
agree.
got the Executor number 1 and Femme Fatale number
Yeah.
1. Then you have Executor number 2, Femme Fatale number 2. That's what I'm holding a copy. It says
Yes, exactly.
1997. And then
Yeah.
so there was just those two
Yeah.
of that, and then you come out with the Blue Cat. And
Yeah, actually, before that was my mini. Do you guys have my mini comics? The
yeah,
little Madam
I have
X and
yeah.
yeah, and That came next. The mini comics. The trading card size books. Yeah, Madam X giant mini book. And like 32 pages of it stuffed in. I did a size up on my originals for the Madam X and the Nikolai Star, who's a Russian POW back in World War II.
So these
He was involved in these weird experiments.
and these are all printed on the friend's basement press.
No, actually, the only one that was printed was Executor Femme Fatale number
Right,
one.
and
I went to a mail order printer out of Sarasota,
yeah,
Florida, and 1,000 copies made of the second issue of Executor and Femme Fatale. I have more copies of that
yeah.
than I did with
Well,
the
you did
number one.
50, and then you did 1,000. So maybe
About
yeah,
1,000, yeah.
maybe those 50 are hard to find and collectible, but
They
the
are. They're hard to
and
find.
the
Some of my friends have them.
right, but these were only made a couple years apart, right?
Yeah, a couple of years apart. I had to take time to do the writing and drawing and, you know,
But,
illustrations
but
and lettering and
this looks
stuff.
like a reprint because it has 2025 in it down here.
Oh, which one is that? Oh no, I actually signed it. Current.
Oh,
I signed it by
oh,
hand on current
so
date.
that is
But yeah, it's actually
so that's
97.
not.
That's a current date that I like to
Oh,
sign.
that's not printed. Gotcha.
2025. That's
Okay, I thought that might have been printed.
no.
Huh?
No. That was a yeah.
Oh,
It's a signed copy. I'll put the current date on it.
interesting. Okay, so yeah, because I thought maybe.
I probably should put a date on it.
Well, if you do,
Yeah, I probably just sign my
yeah,
name.
if you do that, you just might confuse people that it's whether it's printed or not. So maybe use a different color or something, or else use a
Yeah,
ballpoint so you can really
like a
bear
silver.
down on it so people know.
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah.
yeah, so how have you been just finding distribution? This is one of the biggest complaints for indie creators. Everybody makes their
Yeah.
art
I
and
had
they
zero.
they print it up and now they have the copies ready to go, and then what happens?
Yeah, I was just filling in the dark. I didn't have any distribution. I went to a few comic shops out of Seattle, sold a few over there on consignment. That's how I made some
Right.
money. And I go to the conventions. And on a convention table, I sold a few copies at conventions. And uh, I was a member of Cartoonist Northwest back in the late '90s, and that was a good hub for like creators and comic writers and artists out of Seattle. We meet in a room. Uh, I think it's the art. I forget, a School of Fine Arts in Seattle. Yeah, and it's close to the Space Needle, so we meet there like one Friday night every month. We had a meeting over there, and and sometimes the days would change. It's just like maybe Saturday in the afternoons, but mainly it was Friday at after 7 o'clock. So we all show up, and we had guest speakers on there. We had Mike Plug.
Wow.
I don't know if you're familiar with him. He used to draw Ghost Rider and Werewolf by
And
Night
Swamp
and
Thing.
Man Things. He's such a gentleman. I met him. It was great.
Yeah, he did.
And
He did Cult.
at the time he was yeah. At the time he was writing and illustrating the Santa Claus book that came out around '96 or '97.
Right.
And what a great guy.
So you
Yeah.
were in Seattle, or is that where you are now?
No, I was in Seattle between after I got out of the Navy. I served in the Navy from 1999 through 2003, and I was stationed in Bremerton, Washington, on the USS Nimitz. So that Seattle was just across the way. So I decided to stay in Seattle after I got out of the Navy, and I was roommates with a friend of mine out of the Navy. And then later he met a girl and he got married. So I was kind of by myself, and I found a house in Seattle, stay with some people there. We all had our own rooms and things like that, and you know, it's cool. I had my own drawing table, and I did my comics and my drawings and things like that. So
Uh, right. So,
that's where I stayed for like, yeah, until 2003. Then I moved to Tennessee, and then after that, to 2017 back in Lubbock. I was taking care of my mom,
yeah.
but she passed away earlier this year at 92. God rest her
Oh,
soul. So I'm keeping plugged in and got the house and paying bills like everyone else. So yeah.
right. Right. So, how much time? So you mentioned that you have a couple of jobs. How much time are you able to spend creating these days? Is it like a day a week or more?
I try at least a couple hours a day
Oh wow. Okay.
to either live streaming or just drawing.
Yeah.
Every day. It's hard to put in the time when I can.
And what's your current project?
That would be Fembat Volume One on FundMyComic.
Right.
www.fundmycomic.com / campaign / 270 / in lowercase FEMBAT dash volume dash numeral one.
So
That's the link.
give us the elevator pitch on Fembat. I see she's got the little Valkyrie breastplates here. She's got the shoulder
Yes.
pads, and she's got the wing gliders.
Yeah.
So what's her story?
Yes. Well, she was a go-go dancer back in 1968, and she got bit by a tall, dark stranger in her go-go club,
Okay.
and and then he wooed her with some wine, and he was such a pickup artist, and so she can't remember what happened during the night, and so she woke up in the club, uh, and there's a sunlight that hit the window and hit her skin, and she started to burn a bit. I'm like, what's going on? I'm burning up here, and she got a hat and some glasses, and started running out, and she can't be exposed to daylight. She gained vampire powers because of the bite, and she can't go to church anymore. She's a Catholic schoolgirl, and she loves going to Catholic mass. So she vows to find the vampire, destroy him in order for her to regain back her humanity. So she spent 50 years trying to find the vampire through all over the world. She meets up with a scientist engineer who develops the Fembat battle armor to enable her to battle against demons, vampires, werewolves, monsters, anything that goes bump in the night. And she meets up with two friends along the way.
And Fembat number, you're working on Fembat number 2 or 1, or number 1 is out already?
Fembat Volume One. Fembat Volume One is currently finished. I'm also currently working on a book called Enforcer Inc. versus Devastator. That's also on the campaign. It's a 24-page full color mini comic, like ash can size book, 5 by 8.5
Right.
size. And I've got a few more pages left on that, and I'm inking
Oh, so
and
you're in the middle
lettering
of
the pages.
are you in the middle of a crowdfunding campaign?
I'm in the middle of a crowdfunding campaign, fundmycomic.com. That's where to go. A lot of people go on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, but FundMyComic is brand new. It's been out for close to 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's for indie creators who don't want to be shadow banned by any of these other platforms.
Yeah.
You have the freedom to create and release your books and say whatever you want to on your comics, and without being hindered or pushed back
Yeah.
in any manner.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting. Kurt, maybe on a future episode we can get somebody from fundmycomic.com, because they see.
Luke Stone.
Oh yeah, Luke Stone. Right.
Yeah, Luke.
Um,
Yes, he's a nice guy.
platforms.
Yeah, there are.
Uh
There's Backer Kit. There's another one.
oh.
Zoop.
I think we might have lost
Okay.
Kurt's audio again. Kurt,
Oh no.
Kurt. Yeah, we lost Kurt's audio. Yeah, there are a couple different
Okay.
ones that were launched specifically for comics. I know that Kickstarter and Indiegogo, they have lots of different, categories like movies and comics and
Oh
conventions and
yeah.
stuff. So, Fund My Comic sounds very, very specific to comics, and we would love to hear how that progresses. So, did you go live on fundmycomic.com already?
I did. I went live October 24th of last year,
Okay, and what?
and I thought it was an easier platform to set up. I was going to launch it on Indiegogo, but I had a difficult time. I don't know. I didn't know how to do a promo page,
Right?
on there.
Yeah, you.
I'm kind of I'm a boomer pretty much. The technology and this stuff, but I know how to launch. It's much easier to launch than I can with putting out a sign up page. So I still have to learn how to do sign up pages.
Right, and so
So my next campaign I will
and
do.
the campaign lasts. How long do the campaigns last? Do you set the duration of it?
I do. I set up all the durations. I was gonna last until the end of July. I said, well, I'm gonna bump it up to another 60 days. I did that. I said, well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and have no due date and put my campaign in store for now.
Right.
So I have more time to gather enough money for me to print and ship.
Gotcha.
Which shipping costs have gone up
Yes, I know.
quite a
We've been
bit,
we've been we've been
unfortunately.
talking about that. So
Yeah,
let's this is really good. You know, I see a lot of influence. I'm reminded here of like Miss Fury and early Jack Kirby stuff. I don't know if those are some of your influence, but
yeah,
one.
yeah. Jack Kirby's great.
Yeah, the early stuff specifically. But why don't you let us have it? We're gonna ask you about Turbo Pit Fighter now. We sent you a copy, and this
Yeah,
is our sci-fi comic that we're in production of in our podcast on our YouTube channel. And did you get a chance to look at it?
I did visually. I looked. I didn't really have time to actually read through all of
Right,
it. Forgive me for.
right.
I'll have to go back to my copy and read it all. But I love the action. You have a nice, beautiful action. You really took time to draw and illustrate your artwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's looking very crisp and fun and very dynamic.
Thank
So
you.
I get A plus. It looks really good.
Thanks. Yeah, we're definitely big fans of post-apocalyptic, like doom and gloom stuff, dystopian. So yeah, that's what we're working on. But I
That oh, she has a
also love this like
yeah.
superhero based stuff and action based stuff. You got a real nice style here with the black and white interplay going. Um,
Thank you.
real like kind of handmade pen and ink stuff. So
Oh
this is
yeah.
great. This is great, and you're
Thank you.
you're out of Texas. You're doing the local cons down there, right? And
I try to. There's one con that was canceled last year. I don't know why. Uh, but I'm looking forward to. I need to look into it and actually get a table. First, I need to print some more
oh
books.
yeah,
I'm kind of running out of copies. So first, I'll have to go to the printer and reprint some of my earlier works. And but yeah, the I did the Blue Cat. It was the Apex Deluxe #1 featuring Blue Cat. That was another project that came out after the Madam X and Nikolai Starr mini comic project.
right,
Madam X was a World War II British agent. She's a mistress of 1,000
yeah,
faces, able to disguise herself as anyone, male or female. She was assigned to assassinate Adolf Hitler.
gotcha. And
Yeah,
that's always exciting. The period pieces, right? You have 1968. You got World War II era stuff. Um, and
yeah.
have you ever been involved in any collaborations with others?
I I had one. Yeah, I had a writer. I think his name was Rick Owen. back around 1996.
Uh-huh.
He had a horror book called Watchfire, and Dr. Nice, who's like a clinical psychologist slash scientist, and able to actually has he's gifted occultist, able to see spirits and ghosts in places and people and homes and stuff. And his arch enemy was Moloch, and there's the minions of Moloch, like little demons that sprout out from haunted mansions and to actually capture people and their souls. So he's actually like he's an occultist. He's almost like Doctor
Yeah.
Strange mixed in with Doctor Occult.
Right.
He's kind of that character. So I drew about 24 pages of the first issue and close to around 20 pages of the second issue. It never got off the ground, but I did full pencils. I still have the original artwork and stuff like that.
Huh.
And I don't know what happened to Rick. And there's this inker named Dave Scoropa.
Uh-huh.
I think I touched base with him maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and he remembered our project that never got off the ground. So that would have been great if we fleshed it out and got distributed, and but that never happened. I had one of those jumpstart type projects that never got off the ground and things like that. And there's another project called Moxie. It's about a girl who works in a corporation, and her boss uh, happens to Mickey it up her food, like put a little dust on it and in her drinks to actually eat. It's like an experiment, and she gains these gravity type powers. She make things light and make things objects heavy.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like she would have super strength, but she makes the objects lighter so she could throw things like make a car like a 2,000 pound car into like a paperweight and like throw it across the
Yeah.
room. she and so she had like 24 pages of the first issue. That was all penciled by me, and I still have those pages. That never got off the ground. Pyre was another sci-fi type book, almost like Pit, but it's a monster book.
Right.
A Catholic priest discovers a gargoyle from outer space, and he visits a monastery, and so he happens to hang out with the priest. They both have ice cream together and stuff like that, and it's an adventure tale. It's about an astronaut or a warrior from space who gets transformed into a monster because his inner being is a good looking type astronaut type warrior, but yet on the inside is very ugly. So somehow his ugliness brought it out into this monstrous looking gargoyle called Pyre. And so I only did like the cover of it. I still have the script for
Right.
Pyre. And I haven't done anything with it since then. I still keep these old scripts
Well,
that I had throughout the
yeah. Well, it sounds like
90s.
that would make a good pin up if you put some of this older stuff out that you haven't put out yet. I mean, I think you mentioned
Yeah.
multiple, almost full comics that haven't been put out. Maybe you want to do some kind of release where you have your unpublished stuff coming out,
Yeah.
and you could reprint.
I've had friends tell me that too.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt
Exactly.
has a good example of like like a 300 page newsprint, perfect bound, print on demand thing that you can get and put this stuff out. You don't even have to lay out too much money. You just, pay per copy. And it's a little bit more because it's
Yeah.
print on demand. But, maybe if you compile that and make the sample, you could, get some interest in it, or else, just do it that way where, they print it and they ship it for you, and it just might be like
Oh yeah.
$20 instead of $10, something like that.
Right. Yeah, that'll work.
um,
Yeah, no doubt. That'll be fun.
right, so this is great. We're gonna link to your links on the bottom, and it was really cool meeting you. I love how you do this kind of like when you have the like the darker details, and the like the reverse type are all the like highlights. I think that's a great style. Are you
Yeah,
a traditional pen and ink
thanks.
guy? Do you use like a brush pen or do you use
I
markers?
am.
Yeah,
I'd use markers for color if I have to color. I use the Winsor Newton Series 7 number 3 brushes, number 2 brushes, which are thinner,
yeah,
like
yeah.
here.
That's
And of course, number 1 brush is a fine brush, and I use for like fine detail. I also use microns,
yeah,
different sizes micron pens. And of course, the ink I use, yeah, Bombay Black
yeah.
here. And for corrections, if I have, I'll use the Dr. Martin pen corrector right here,
Right.
the little white.
This is, yeah. You're an
Yeah,
old fashioned, inker. This is great to see. I love to see
yeah.
that. Um, that people are still keeping this craft alive. But yeah, so
Thank
we're gonna have to
goodness.
wrap up. So where should people
Okay.
go if they wanted to pick up the your latest Fembat collection? You should go to ifundcomics.com.
Yeah, go to
Oh,
FundMyComic.
FundMyComic,
It's fundmycomic.com.
right?
FundMyComic, yes. Under Fembat Volume 1, they're able to look it up, click on the Fembat, and I, I recently put up a t shirt comic book bundle you can get for like $50 because a lot of people are charging like 35, $40 for a t-shirt and then 25 for a comic, but you get a bundle for like both for like $50. Pretty good
Yeah,
deal.
that's a good deal.
But I'll be on yeah, you can actually subscribe to my YouTube channel, Apex Comics. APEXCOMIX is it on the
Yep.
banner. Subscribe to my channel, that'd be great. And I'll be on Good Morning Comicsgate with Katie Did's channel, and I'll be on there promoting my Fembat Volume 1. I'll have a Tuesday morning show. I'll have Rick Piper from Cross Comics. He's promoting Canadian Shield number 3, so I'll be help promoting him. So I like to help not just promote myself, but other
Yeah,
people on the platform and give them some attention. They can get some sales as well. So it's good to help myself and help other people. When you scratch my back, I'll scratch your
that's
back.
what we're doing for sure. Good to hear.
Yeah,
So folks, that's it. Apex Comics on YouTube, comics with an X, and check out Fund My
yeah.
Comic. Really good meeting you, Brett.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks for doing the Indie Creator Exchange, folks. And so, if you're listening to this, you can check out our other channels. We have Turbo Pit Fighter, the making of. Every Sunday, we go live at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then we have our flip throughs that we do on comics that influence. You just finished watching an episode of the Indie Creator Exchange. That's our third series. So, feel free to binge and watch them all and go back in history and look at them. We've been doing this for about 3 years now. And you can also do this kind of stuff, listen in while you're drawing. This way you can be in the company of other comic creators while you're making your stuff. And if you're a collector,
Mhm.
get your juicy hands on some of these things. I would try to run down a copy of the Executor number 1 with the Femme Fatales on the back before somebody else does, right? And
Exactly.
that seems like it's
All right.
super rare. Really nice talking to you, Brett, and we'll see you out there. Take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Take
Peace.
care.